Nathan Vella.
That's a lot of prizes. Can I have some?
You can, if you do a great job at presenting the Independent Game Festival Awards tomorrow, then I will give you a cup of your own water.
That's your.
You already gave him one, man.
Cheers.
Epic. That worked out really well in my benefit.
We'll talk about the IGF later, but you are here with a video game.
Yeah, a playable video game.
Because Capybara, every once in a while, unleash a video game onto the world.
We do.
And it usually gets people super interested. This is a video game I feel like I have been hearing about for donkey's years.
Yeah, we've been making it for a while. It started out kind of slow and steady as a game jam game, and then into a little pet project, and then into something that we're kind of working on the side, and then got connected with Microsoft, and all of a sudden it became this big, crazy, run and gun, time traveling, joke-filled platformer that we're just about to release.
So for the folks who have never heard of or seen Super Time Force before, give me the elevator pitch of how this crazy 2D platformer shooter works.
So it's a run and gun, hard as nails platformer where the player is in control of time. So at any point in the game, whether you die or whether you just choose to time out, you can actually enter a kind of VHS scrub mode, rewind through time, choose where you want to hop back into the action, pick any of the type of players that you want to pick or play as, and basically play co-op with yourself. So every time you die and every time you time back in, you get to come back and play alongside your past selves. And they're actually doing the same thing that they did before. So if you killed an enemy, then died, rewound back, that past life would actually go and still kill that enemy.
Yeah.
So you basically, we call it single player co-op. It's kind of like playing with yourself.
And who doesn't like playing with themselves?
Yeah, there's no right way of saying that. It doesn't sound crazy, but I mean, it's a really super challenging game. We love ourselves some hard games at Cappy. That's the type of game we like to make. It's chock full of ridiculous time travel and time periods. You get to go across 6 different time phases from like the Jurassic era all the way through to the post-apocalypse or the past future. And you get to blow a lot of robots up.
What the goddamn hell is happening here?
So right now we are in the Atlantis time period. Your boss, Commander Rapitsky, has decided that the fact that Atlantis sunk off the coast of Florida, actually.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, that's a little known fact. He decided that bringing Atlantis back would be a great idea. And because Atlantis was not actually this mythical place, it was actually just a really cool theme park.
Okay.
And
is this the future or the past?
It's the past.
Okay.
This is the past got skewed, and nobody really knew that Atlantis was actually a theme park, kind of like, you know, a ridiculous space full of fun and games.
It's shocking how many things we lose to history.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what this game is about. For us, it's actually a lot about being able to make a really challenging, a really unique style of run and gun platformer that's also full of stupid 80s movie references and jokes. I mean, we love us some jokes at the studio, and I mean, this game is in a lot of ways a representation of the insanity of Cappy. It's been a lot of fun to make. It's been a long time in coming, but the end result is a pretty crazy piece of platformer insanity. And the fact that you can actually, you know, choose from 16 different characters if you manage to unlock all of them. Everything from, as you see right now, totally radical dinosaur riding a skateboard.
Is that his name?
Zachosaurus is his name.
Perfect.
This is Jeff Leopard, the rocket launcher. You can play as a dolphin named Dolphin Lundgren.
Okay, yeah.
There's
I see what you did there.
Yep. You can kind of see how you go. There's a playable piece of crap named Squirty Harry who has a magnum and explodes his own farts. I mean, there's kind of pretty much every dumb joke you can imagine is in this game in some way. You can play as Merlin. And because you get to kind of travel through time and save all these characters, you kind of build up this army of players who have very different styles of play. There's defensive players, there's very offensive players, there's fast players, and you get to choose how you play it. You get to decide if you want to be strategic and pick the perfect character to play as for that perfect moment, or you can just mash a lot of buttons and shoot a lot of stuff. And
what is happening? Is that Samuel L. Jackson or something?
That's Ludon Jim. He's kind of like a Jedi, but not, because we don't want to get sued. He has a light sword because we don't want to get sued. And again, like he is maybe inspired by Samuel L. Jackson,
perhaps,
but maybe not.
I want to remind the folks home, if they've got any questions for Nathan about Super Time Force, please put them in the Twitch chat or the comments, or feel free to tweet us, and we'll get them on. I want to ask the first question, which I'm sure people are going to ask. ask is if you can just reverse time every time you die, how is this game difficult? Is there a limit on like, is that a life?
Yeah, so first of all, you have a limited number of times that you can enter rewind mode.
Okay.
And you have a limited amount of time per level. You can only exist in each kind of like time period or each level for 60 seconds.
Okay.
So as you can see right now, Sean's running out of time. So he's actually gonna have to use time rewind to optimize the amount of time he spends.
Right.
He might have spent a long time fighting against one character, so he can actually add another character in, take out that enemy faster, and then move through the game quicker,
Right.
so that time no longer is a problem. And you can even rewind all the way back to the start if you want to. It's going to give you a ton of challenges. There's a lot of collectibles that you can pick up. There's a whole completionist element. We've also hidden some really fun stuff in the game for speedrunners. We're huge fans of the speedrun community and awesome games done quick and all that kind of stuff. So we tried to cram it as full as possible as stuff that we really like as players. And we really think that nowadays gamers can kind of tell when the people making the game love the game that they're making.
Yeah.
We had a ton of fun making this game and really excited to unleash it onto the earth.
Having watched the adventure game or awesome games done quick, those speedrunner folks who are just like incredibly skilled, they know the game so in and out. I feel like as a developer, it'd be a little intimidating to try to put your game in front of them. These people who just like pick it apart to maximize every little bit.
It's probably the best worst thing possible. It's amazing seeing people care that much about any product, any piece of creative culture, and to go that deep in it. I mean, we get no work done at the office during that live streaming show. So while I love when it happens, I don't love the fact that we miss deadlines because.
Yeah. Did you bring them in to like, all right, give this a try, or do you have some pretty ace speedrunners of your own?
There is a tester at Microsoft named Tyler who hopefully is watching, and he sends us videos of him speedrunning it, and only Mike Nguyen, who's one of the pixel artists on the game, is better than him. So there's already people that are like working really hard at becoming the best speedrunners in the studio because it's a hell of a lot of fun, and because we actually put some really cool stuff in the game to benefit people doing it that way.
Cool. The game seems pretty dense. You've got a lot of stuff going on. Is that a benefit of working on it for as long as you have?
Absolutely. It's given us a chance to really take a really cool, unique game mechanic, explore it as far as we can, make sure that when players play it, we're not leaving anything on the table. Yeah. And it also gives us a chance to get a ton of amazing chiptunes from our friend 6955, who's a Toronto-based chiptunes artist, one of the OG chiptunes guys. It gives us a chance to put all of the pixel art love that we have at the studio. I mean, we're a studio that's born and raised on making cool pixels, and hopefully people can see all of the polish and love we put into it.
I've got a bunch of questions here. Bob Jones 1980 is asking, what platforms is this coming out on?
It's coming out on Xbox 360 and Xbox One simultaneously.
Awesome. So you're guys working with the guys at Microsoft?
We work with Microsoft Studios and we work with ID at Xbox on the game, both at the same time. It's kind of best of both worlds for us.
So how is the ID at Xbox stuff working out? That's kind of like Microsoft's push to sort of get some good indie games on their platform.
I think it's working out great. I mean, it's coming together kind of on the fly, and all the people there have been fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Chris Charlotte, who runs the program. He was the guy who got us to put Super Time Force on Xbox 360 in the first place. And I've known that guy for a while, and I believe in that guy. I think he's doing a great job, and I think he's going to continue to make ID at Xbox a better place for all of us. And having two new consoles selling extremely well, both with self-publishing options for independent studios, I mean, it's a lot of opportunities, man. It's also kind of freaky because we're almost not used to that, but it's great. It's a really awesome program, and we'll be showing off a ton of games today, actually, at an ID at Xbox press event that actually people can come to from 7 to 9 at One Loft in San Fran.
Excellent. Yeah, what's it like in today's? Do you feel like the stuff that you've done in the past, that being one of these studios has been on the forefront of releasing really interesting games for a number of years now? Do you think you guys have influenced the way companies like Microsoft and Sony deal with indies?
I think it's more the community as a whole, and also I think it has potentially more to do with the players than it does with the developers. I think the fact that players consistently ask for these games and are consistently looking for something a little bit different. Maybe they had a ton of fun playing Titanfall, but they want to play something a little bit different. So there's having those different experiences and having those different opportunities to play quite often some pretty weird ass shit.
Yeah, this is pretty weird ass shit right here.
Yeah, that's it.
What is going on?
You have quite often in the game we throw ridiculous bosses at you, and this is a squid octopus with, and he's
oh no, he's got it.
he's got a 6-pack wrapper around his neck. What a poor guy.
Why fight that boss? You know he's just gonna die soon anyways. because you run out of time.
Part of Super Time Force is about killing things that don't necessarily have to be killed because you kind of don't know any better.
So is this a repeat sort of thing where you take it out with one dude, reverse time, and then take
Exactly.
another?
You can actually choose to play it in multiple different ways. You can try to go through with just like a single character,
Yeah.
or you can create almost an army of yous to fight a boss.
Okay. I got a question here from Eminem Stranger on Twitch is asking, when about are you going to release this?
May or June. So
Okay.
it's in QA right now. We're going to go through all the testing process, make sure it's a very clean, bug-free game for everyone.
Yes.
We don't have a lot of control over how long that process takes, but we're really aiming for May or June. So hopefully as soon as possible. If all goes great, May would be awesome. But worst case, it'll be out by summertime.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You guys at Capybara have got some other stuff in the pipeline as well?
We do. We
working
have a
on?
game called Below. It's aesthetically driven roguelike meets exploration game. Music by Jim Guthrie, who made the music for Sword and Sorcery. It's almost the antithesis of this game in a way. It's very moody, very atmospheric. It's a single screen kind of dungeon crawler style game with procedurally generated levels and permanent death. Again, it is tough as nails because that's how we roll, but we love to make challenging games. And Below, you're going to be hearing a lot more about that in not so long. So
Yeah.
really excited to be working on something like this game and at the same time something that's completely different. And hopefully it shows the breadth of what the studio can do, and hopefully it also shows all the stuff that we love to do.
And what does that do for office culture? I mean, you got the guys over here as Jean Rambois, like fighting their way through Atlantis in the past, and then over here it's Below, like a very single player for sort of, or very focused. Like
It's kind of it's ridiculous, but it's super fun and it keeps things really fresh. Everybody gets a chance to like stop making something that's really atmospheric and really light and really intense, and then switch over to something that you're blowing up robots and farting on stuff.
not a lot of 80s movie references in Below, I'm gonna guess.
No, we'll definitely find a way to
some
hide
moody
one or
80s
something
movies.
Like that.
That's true.
Yeah,
Music.
Really, yeah, intense.
Yeah,
super
just get
intense.
Jim Guthrie off the project. Just put a load of
Yeah.
The Cure on there instead. Nail it. Thanks very much for showing us Super Time Force. While I have you there, I want to ask you, you were taking over responsibility of hosting the Independent Game Festival Awards,
I am.
which are on tomorrow, I believe.
They are.
you-
Thanks for freaking me out about it.
It's like this, except
Just over
there'll be a
24 hours.
teleprompter.
And like a couple thousand people or something.
Yeah, but they're all drunk, independent game
that's
development.
everyone out there, if you're gonna watch the IGF Awards, please drink beforehand. That's my request.
The audience as well as the folks.
No, just everyone. Everyone who's watching the GameSpot stream,
Yeah.
drink. Everyone who's at the event, drink a little too. Make me look a little bit better.
It's always a fun award show, though.
It
like,
is. It's. I can't tell you how excited I am to get to hand awards to people whose games I loved and who are friends of mine and who have inspired us and inspired the entire industry.
Yeah.
Really, it's the games that are nominated. Even just for the grand prize alone, it shows the breadth of what is available now, and all like. Everything from Dominique Pamplemousse, like a musical claymation game made by a single developer, through to something like Don't Starve, which is massive success. Clay is a well-known studio,
Yeah.
and there's just so much stuff. I mean, Stanley Parable was an amazing experience. Device 6 is one of my favorite iPhone games of all time. Like there's just so much out there, and then can't forget Papers, Please. That's kind of a really, really big game for independent games this year as well. I mean, that's just the Grand Prize nominees. All the other categories are just chock full of ridiculously amazing and inspiring games. And I think when it comes down to it, I don't really have to do that much other than say a few words.
Oh no, you got to
and-
do loads.
That's true,
gotta
actually.
say
I
all
was
the
trying to make
rhymes,
myself
lies.
feel better,
Yeah.
but I have to wear a suit, which is really awkward. Haven't done that since my wedding.
I'll be in the audience. Are you hoping? What kind of heckling do you think would be like? Do you want like support heckling, like "Go Nathan, you're doing a great job," or like do you feed off that antagonism if I just like start to insult the way you look?
Yo, you suck, fella!
Yeah.
So my good friend Seth Killian decided that he was going to buy laser pointers for everyone
Oh
so that they
my.
could laser point my nards
Okay.
for the whole show,
All right.
but I paid him to not do that.
Okay. That's kind
actually
of in
clever.
keeping, though, at the IGF. I remember one crowd one about 4 years ago, and the dude walked up and just read like 4 lines from Dianetics and walked off the stage again.
Oh yeah. I think when Cactus won Nuovo 2 or 3 years ago, he just stared at the camera for a solid minute and a half and then walked off. I'm really looking forward to. But the thing that's very important to me is that like the IGF is very important. It's,
Yeah.
it's actually like, we joke around and I'm going to tell a whole bunch of stupid, probably not funny jokes, but it is very important to us. It had a huge impact on our studio when we won an IGF mobile game way back when. And that's a big part of why I really wanted to host, is to kind of talk about why it is important. And there's an amazing community. There's so many rad people out there, and gotta celebrate that stuff.
Here's a picture of it getting set up at the
Oh my
moment,
God,
actually.
it's so big.
So this time tomorrow, that'll be full of people.
That picture is by Kurt Gardner, the amazing video game trailer maker who has actually made the video parts of the
Excellent.
IGF and GDCAs. Shout out to Kurt, he's the best. He's helped me out a ton.
So the IGF Awards precede the Game Developers Conference Awards that are right
hosted
after
by
it.
the amazing Abby Hepp.
Oh, Abby's doing it.
She's
Oh,
doing
wonderful.
it. She's like, oh, why not just launch a giant video game like Titanfall and then immediately do an awards hosting job? She's going to be fantastic. I've been talking to her. I'm the opening act, and
Yeah.
and then she's kind of the cure.
How does that feel in terms of, like, there is a direct delineation between what indie games were and what sort of the mainstream games are? It feels like that sort of is getting more blurred or becoming less relevant.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you still think it's important that the IGF is its own thing?
Yes, I mean, I think it is in a way. I think the fact that the GDCAs are full of independent games is important as well. But I think having the community celebration aspect of the IGF Awards is very important, because it's very different making a game by yourself. It's very challenging to do so, and you don't have a team and a support structure to rely on. So celebrating the different effort, almost the different kind of way that those games are made, and in a lot of cases the different intentions of those games, I think is very important.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I'm the biggest IGF fanboy out there. So.
Awesome. Nathan Vella, Capybara Games, thank you very much for
Real
coming on the
pleasure.
show and
Thanks
a
a lot
super
for
time
having
for
me,
us.
guys.
And best of luck tomorrow. Of course, the IGF Awards and the GDC Awards will both be live streamed on GameSpot.com, as they always are.